Is it possible the New York Times actually took a break from beating up men? Look, it's absolutely beyond dispute, and it's been well established that there is a crisis of masculinity happening in the United States. There's a crisis with boys. The number of successful employment, graduation from undergraduate university, graduate programs, all of that impacting men, the suicide rate. There are so many things that are clear demonstrations of the fact that there's a crisis happening. But also that there's a crisis in adult men wanting to be mentors and role models. It talks about the outcomes that we see when young men have and boys have male adult role models and mentors, that mentorship really improves outcomes. But a lot of adult men are afraid that if they extend themselves to young boys, that they're going to be perceived as a predator because of all of the scandals involving the Catholic Church, involving the Boy Scouts, where people were using their positions of mentorship as men in a predatory fashion. It talks about in the article how the wait list for Big Brothers in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program for adult mentors for boys who grow up in single parent households raised by a woman. They don't have any male role models in their lives. A lot of men are not going into teaching anymore. It's a traditionally primarily female position, and that hasn't changed. So there's a lot of gaps where there's a lot of young men that don't have any real male role models in their lives. So I think it's a good article. I'm glad that the New York Times is talking about this stuff. I think it's kind of funny that the New York Times spends 99 out of 100 articles just pillorying men and boys, and then turns around with one opinion piece and is like, oh, maybe we should help solve this problem that they helped create.